Hi, this is Jeff with the Halcyon Masters and Impact Gaming. In the previous episode of the Stormguard Saga, the Storm Queen found her sister, who is presumed dead, hiding in southern Githia, with two children who display powerful abilities. The Queen instructed Catherine and the Stormguard to retrieve the children and bring them back to Mount Lyle. In secret, however, Catherine and Julia devised a plan to save her family from capture. If you have yet to see part 1 of the Stormguard Saga, click on the card above to check out that video. Without further ado, here is part 2. Julia returns from the tavern, not alone, but with a screaming goat. Her husband Ardan is not happy about the new addition to the family, citing that they have no clue how to care for a goat.
Get off my lawn.
Listening to the argument from outside the house is Kestrel and the other members of the Stormguard, impatiently waiting for hours for Catherine's signal to storm the house.
Calm down, no rush.
Kestrel, royally annoyed by the goat's screams, grows increasingly restless and questions why they've been waiting. After another scream, the goat finally gets on Kestrel's last nerve and she lets an arrow fly right into the goat's throat to shut it up for good.
That's enough.
Or so she thinks. Back inside the house, the sudden silence of the goat spooks Ardan as he realizes the Stormguard is outside. He yells for Celeste and Vox to go hide in the closet and for Julia to help him put on his armor.
I don't need directions.
They start with the legs, fit the breastplate, and then the right arm. The Stormguard close in. Julia yells to Ardan as he moves towards the front door, "What about your arm cannon?" No time. Wait, seriously, how cool would Ardan be if SEMC actually gave him an arm cannon? Oh well, we can only dream, I guess. Back to the story. Outside, Kestrel realizes that she royally effed up by killing the goat and ruining the surprise. She lets another arrow fly, this time through the window of the house at Ardan. The arrow grazes his chest plate and hits the family photograph. Kestrel swings down and runs towards the house, followed by the rest of the Stormguard. When Kestrel reaches the window, she looks back and sees Catherine standing behind them. Instead of the fearless warrior Catherine always is, she's crying with one of the Storm Queen's ravens clenched in her fist with its neck broken. Another raven flies onto Catherine's shoulder with an enraged scream. As we found out in part 1, it's the ravens that act as the Storm Queen's eyes and ears, so the Queen is now aware of Catherine's betrayal. The rest of the Stormguard pour into the house. The couple hold off the raid until a massive blast shocks all those inside the house. Ardan is frozen in place and sees the front door fly wide open. Catherine walks into the house as if invited and makes her way to Julia without giving notice to Ardan. On her way across the room, she snaps her fingers at the Stormguard and sends them after Celeste and Vox. Ardan, still unable to move, watches Catherine pull out her sword and press it against his wife's ribcage. The two Stormguard return to the room, each with one of his kids at hand. At this moment, Ardan is faced with an impossible decision. In one more heartbeat, his kids will be taken or his wife will be killed. Finally released from the silence of the blast tremor, Ardan turns and runs towards his kids. Catherine pushes her sword further into Julia, and with her last breath, she whispers Ardan's name. A flash of green magic leaves Julia and infuses with Ardan. Julia's last gift gives him the burst of strength needed to take back his kids and escape the house. He runs past the goat and into the darkness of the night. This concludes part 2, or does it? Reports with increasing frequency tell of a demon goat terrorizing farms and cities. It leaves corpses of animals in its path. This must be Corpus, the nightmare goat who is also the same goat Kestrel killed outside of Ardan's home. Some believe this to just be an April Fool's Day joke, but others believe that he may one day return to the Halcyon fold. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this Heroic Ties video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you're the first to know when a new video is released. And as we work on part 3, we have a couple Summer Party Phinn skins to give away. For a chance to win, be sure to subscribe and then leave a comment below. In this comment, I want to hear your opinion on who had the hardest decision in this story. Was it Julia who decided to give her life for her family? Catherine for honoring her wishes? Ardan for choosing his kids over his wife? Or Kestrel for letting an arrow fly into the annoying goat? Also, if there's another one, feel free to leave that too. Well, thank you again for watching. Until next time, we'll see you on the Halcyon Fold.